Now, on the off chance that you don't know what an inguinal hernia is, essentially right on the lower kind of section of your abs, right about here, basically you'll have a little tear or kind of rip in the fascia, and what can happen is your intestines can push through that tear, resulting in a little bulge. So you see like a little bulge. First I was like, what the heck is this? And you kind of push it back into its cavity. So most people, usually what you'll do is you go to your doctor, and if it's super small, they'll say, I'll wait on it till it gets bigger, and eventually it will grow in size, I guess, as the rip continues. I chose to just get it done really early because frankly it annoyed me having it. Whenever I lifted, I always wanted to push it in. I was screwing around, and if you're experiencing it right now and it's very annoying, I really recommend a truss. It's just kind of like this weird thing that you can see here on the screen. It's like $100, but it basically is acting as your ab and pushing it in. Felt like I was wearing like a gun strap or something, putting it over the tear, but it is what it is. Now, I guess let's go into a little bit more detail about how it happened. So obviously you're gonna look at me and go, oh, you did it because of lifting, because of bad form or not appropriate breathing practices. That's what everyone said to me. But I asked my surgeon and he assured me it probably wasn't from that. A lot of the signs of it are hereditary. So for instance, if you're male, if you're white, if you're tall, and as you can see from me, check, check, check. But the main reason it actually happens is, and why it's more prevalent in male, is we have an inguinal canal. Essentially, this inguinal canal is so that your testicles can drop, you know, as you grow up and hit puberty. However, this can leave us predisposed to a kind of a weakness in that fascia, resulting in that rip that I said earlier. So we're kind of in a tough spot as is, and obviously lifting heavy can complement that. My whole family, all of my uncles, my father have had multiple hernias, so I knew it's probably coming for me. It really isn't the end of the world. If you're watching this, you know, and you have it, don't stress it at all. It really was like the smallest thing ever. I'm gonna teach you how to recover. I'm gonna give you some tips, some insights. We'll be good to go. So to reiterate, it will not go away. A lot of people will kind of wonder, you know, oh, it's so small. If I wear the truss, will it go away? I saw comments like, if I keep wearing this thing, it might be gone soon enough. That's not the way it works. So usually the hernia will be exposed, you know, when you're strained, bent over, standing, and will usually go away when you're lying down. That's kind of how they work. It's basically just by how your abdomen's placed. When you eat more food and inflammatory foods, it will encourage it. So that's something I did to kind of combat it when I had it. I tried to avoid foods that were highly inflammatory, onions, coffee, fatty meats, different things like that. Just Google a list. You'll see a bunch, or slap some on the screen here. So you can minimize it while you have it, but ultimately you're gonna have to decide with your doctor when you wanna get it surgically done. Now there's two types of surgery. There's laparoscopic, essentially where they would make 4 incisions and use a laser to kind of get it done. My doctor cautioned against this for my first one because essentially you're messing with your rectus abdominis when you don't really need to, when they can kind of just cut in that one area and get it done. Now there's 2 types of repairs past that for open repair, where they're actually cutting you open. So that's what I had done. There's mesh and non-mesh. So non-mesh, some people argue it's better, it's more natural. They're tying your abs over top of each other and just creating that strength. So they'll basically come in, cut you up, and then tie them over. Now there's a mesh repair. Mesh repairs have had a lot of bad historical issues. A lot of people are suing their doctors and things like that because of them, because early meshes have been shown to actually cause pain, constant nerve pain, and they're really kind of frankly sketchy. So I kind of wanted to avoid it, but after doing my research, I found that the FDA has said, I believe after 2017, I'll put it on the screen once again, that the new meshes have been proven to be a lot safer, and they've basically eliminated all those old meshes that were causing problems. So you will be pretty safe. The mesh helps limit reoccurrence, which is a big thing for me because I'm not trying to get this done again. You know, I just wanted to get back in it. I hated not lifting. I've been lifting for 10 years and I have not taken more than a week off. So this has been like a little bit of a challenge for me mentally, and I've just kind of said, hey, I'm gonna take this head on. I'm gonna recover as quick as possible. And as you can see, after 5 weeks, I feel like I'm doing quite well. My surgeon even told me I recovered really fast. So now let's get into the recovery portion. So transition to the surgery. It was super jokes because while I was waiting for my surgery, I saw another YouTuber in there. So I'll show you some of the vlog footage. It's pretty hilarious. You can see I'm a little bit stressed, I'm not gonna lie.
Alright guys, so I walk into this waiting room and who is here?
What's up?
But Josh. You're here for brain surgery?
Yeah,
no.
Brain surgery, the third one. And so because I chose open surgery, that's what I'm gonna talk to you. I know laparoscopic, you got a way faster recovery. I've heard of people like just being up and moving so quick and pretty much back at it in a week. So I can't speak to laparoscopic myself, but I will refer to open surgery repair and how to heal from it. So the first question is it painful? The cool thing with open repair even is they will get you moving right away. So essentially 2 or 3 hours after your surgery, they will get you up. I'm sure you'll get a wheelchair out of the hospital or surgery room, but from that they do encourage you to walk as you are comfortable. Walking actually helps simulate and get the muscle kind of working again. Now obviously the big threat after surgery is blowing it out. So I was so worried. I'm like, oh, if I sit up, will I blow it out? In my experience, I didn't feel too much strain. I found it was really hard. You know, the first few days it does hurt, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's not a crazy pain, you know, you feel like a shell of yourself. I felt very weak. I had a hard time getting on a bed, you know, and I had to kind of like wiggle myself around, or getting in a car. I was like, just like an old man, you know, I was just moving super slow. I didn't feel myself. But all in all, they got you on painkillers and ain't too bad. I was prescribed Tylenols and aspirin, and I was also prescribed hydromorphone, which is a more hard opioid, and I personally chose to try to avoid that so I could work. So the first day was super tough. I didn't really stress myself out too much post-surgery. You know, I just wanted to get back and rehydrate myself as quick as possible. So I packed some coconut water. The reason I like that, it's very high in potassium, it's very high in electrolytes, and it's a good introduction back to food without feeling sick, because some people do feel sick after surgery. So I think coconut water post-surgery is a great thing to kind of segue you back in. From there I had some soup and crackers, and that felt amazing because I was starving, because I wasn't able to eat the morning of. This stressed me out a bit. Even though it was only a few hours, I like to eat. As you can tell, I'm 210 pounds here. So first day, that was basically what happened. You know, chill, you know, watch some TV, eat a bit of food as you're comfortable, get your sleep. Sleep is super important. Now throughout the whole recovery process, I want to do everything I can to stimulate myself and recover as quick as possible. So high protein was a key thing, especially for me to maintain my muscle mass. I hold more muscle mass, and I wasn't trying to lose a lot of it while I was under. So this high protein can also help with muscular recovery. We've literally had our muscles slit open from a surgery, so that's going to be your number one. So I was sticking to a high protein diet full of healthy food, so I felt powerful. Last thing you want to do is eat some crap, have your stomach kind of churning, feeling like garbage when you've just had a surgery and your whole abs are sore. So the soreness, I would describe it as, you know, on the wound, not so much. It just feels numb. If someone were to walk up and punch me, I think it'd be crazy, but standing, it wasn't too bad. Then I remember feeling it kind of, so I had it on my right side. I remember feeling it up my obliques here. And it just felt really sore, like really bad DOMS from smashing my abs really hard in the gym. But it's maybe like a 3 out of 10 pain. It was very minimal. They recommend you take the pain meds before you feel the pain, so it wasn't too bad. So fast forward, first week, what you're gonna do to heal and what the doctors recommend from my resources. Now bear in mind, I'm not a doctor, this is not medical advice, I'm talking about what I did. I'm not saying what you should do. Take the knowledge you can and formulate your own kind of expertise. Not trying to get sued here. But what I did was try to get as many steps as I could in each day from my house. So I was literally walking back and forth like this, touching the door, walking back and forth, touching the other door, just trying to get in as many steps as I can with my Apple Watch to use as a tracker. I remember the second day I did 3,000, 4,000, then that next day was really hard for me for whatever reason, and I only did 2,000, but after that I did 6,000, and I just kept climbing until I got to 10K, and that was a huge motivator for me. I found about 10 days is when you start to feel a lot better. I think on the 7th day, I actually went to the gym to walk on a treadmill. I was walking on 1.5 speed, 0 incline, so I'm just getting away here. But the key thing is to stay active. So studies have shown that people that are more active actually do recover quicker. So that's gonna be your number one. So once you're in about a week, if you feel okay, bearing, you know, everyone's gonna have a different experience. Some people feel a lot more pain. Some people, you know, might not be as in shape and they'll have a harder time too. But the key thing you're gonna wanna do is get walking. Now from the first to second week, you're just gonna get on a treadmill when you can, walk outside, whatever you want. The weather sucked here. So just get moving, get walking, be intelligent. Now past that, I started to reintroduce myself to some weights. This isn't encouraged, but for me, it kept me sane. So I was only lifting 2.5 dumbbells, and I was sitting there and basically doing triceps. So I do 20 reps of something like lateral raises, 20 reps of something like shoulders. So I would do 3 shoulder exercises essentially, take a rest, and then I would do like 3 chest exercises. I would do upper body movements that wouldn't strain this particular part of my abdomen. If you have the kind of the belly button one, it's a lot tougher because that's your rectus abdominis, so that's something to be aware of. But I slowly reintroduced myself to the weights. So that was basically weeks like 2 to 3. Weeks 3 to 4, I upped those weights to 5 pounds, to 10 pounds, to 15 pounds by the end of that week. And then after 4 weeks, you should see your surgeon. They'll let you know where you're at. Saying so, be very smart with lifting weights. You know, I babied myself. I didn't lift more than 20 pounds up until 2 weeks, as was recommended. You know, why risk it? I have heard of people blowing it out. It would be incredibly painful. You'd have to get it redone. So the number one thing I can recommend is listen to what the doctors tell you. It will err on the side of caution, but why risk it? You know, we want to come back. even for me 5 weeks later right now, as you can see, I'm doing pretty good. My surgeon at the 4 weeks said you're basically there, and he encouraged me that after 6 weeks it would be virtually quite impossible to blow it out. So after that 6 weeks you should get done about 80% of your healing, and from there you can fully transition back to normal life. But that's kind of my quick breakdown. I mean, I'll answer people in the comments, I'll do my best. I'm not a doctor, you know, I'm a fitness dude, that's what I do, but I figured I'd make this video to give people some comfort. You know, if you got it coming up, it ain't that bad. You'll be cool. It really is not that big of a deal. It was super simple. I'm back at it. Life continues. Thank you so much for watching this. You know, if you are watching this and you want some great exercises you can do to kind of rehab and recover back, definitely subscribe to our channel. We have a ton of great content, and if this video gets kind of a good reception to it, I'll definitely do a part 2 and maybe make some direct workouts that could be followed. So smash that like button if you enjoyed this. Comment down below what's going on with you. Smash subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.